Welcome to Stress Management presented by the Lumberjack Wellness Network. I hope this session is informative and you're able to find at least a handful of takeaways. Who is the Lumberjack Wellness Network? We're basically a group of faculty members and staff who wish to empower our campus community to have meaningful and helpful conversations surrounding students in need. We want to ensure our students are connected to the proper resources and services for any well-being need they may have. What type of information should you expect to learn from this session? You will identify different types of stress you may encounter, the ways that stress can affect your body, and positive coping skills. So, what is stress? Stress is a response that everyone experiences. You may feel stressed when pressured or threatened. As you all are now in college, stress may be the response to external causes, such as taking a big test or arguing with a friend. Stress is something that is experienced when a person perceives that the demands exceed the personal and social resources that they can mobilize. Oftentimes, stress is triggered when we experience something new or we feel as though we have little control over a situation. When we encounter stress, our body produces stress hormones that trigger a fight or flight response and activates our immune system. This helps us respond quickly to dangerous situations. Sometimes a stress response can be helpful. It can help us push through our fears or pain so we can improve our athletic performance, deliver a speech, or motivate us to try something new. Our stress hormones usually return to normal quickly once the stressful event is over. I want you to think back to one of your most recent times that you learned or tried something new. This experience that caused you a bit of stress allowed you to grow as an individual. It gave you that push to reach your goal of being the first person in your family to go to college. It gave you the motivation to interview for your first job, which you are happy to report that you landed. Was the stress worth what you gained? Do you ever think back to how stressed you were? However, too much stress can cause adverse effects. It can leave us in a permanent stage of fight or flight, leaving us overwhelmed or unable to cope. Long-term distress, this can affect us physically and emotionally. Your bad stress can be acute, short-term, or chronic, long-term. It could wear you out, leave you frazzled, cause you anxiety, confusion, poor concentration, and decreased performance in the classroom and out of the classroom. How do you know when you are stressed? You may have telltale feelings such as being anxious, afraid, angry, or aggressive, sad, irritable, or frustrated. These feelings of acute and chronic stress can cause your body to generate headaches, nausea, indigestion, and digestive issues, sweating, heart palpitations, aches, and pains. When you are stressed, you may withdraw from friends and family, be indecisive or inflexible, be tearful, have a tough time falling asleep, or staying asleep. Do you ever just lay awake at night with your brain racing? For some individuals, they may increase their usage of tobacco, alcohol, or other drugs. Maybe you are an individual who only turns to these items when your stress level is no longer manageable. Other physical reactions that SFA students have mentioned are eye twitches, missing meals, stress eating, upper and lower back pain, as well as muscle tension and jaw clenching. Although these reactions are negative for your health, Think how useful these are and why you should listen to these signs. You may not realize how stressed you are until your eye begins to twitch, or when you have a headache that just will not go away. So you know how stress can affect your body, but are there certain things that you can do to cause you to stay stressed? And the answer is yes. There is a connection between type A and type B personalities. If you categorize yourself as type A perfectionist, chances are you're going to naturally have a higher stress level than type B personalities. Being physically active can help you manage the effects of stress because exercise produces endorphins, which boost your mood. It can be hard to motivate yourself to be active, especially when overwhelmed. It can be difficult to put time aside when you have goals to meet, but even 10 to 15 minutes a few times a week can make a large impact. Eating well, where you're getting enough nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and drinking plenty of water can help your mental well-being. If you find yourself turning to tobacco, alcohol, or other drugs, it is recommended cutting down, reducing, or cutting out completely. These items may seem to reduce your stress level, but research shows they increase your anxiety. Some days, you may feel as though you cannot fit one more thing onto your schedule. That may be the case some days, but it's important to take time to relax and practice self-care. Lastly, be kind to yourself and try to keep things in perspective. This may look like writing down the things that you're grateful for. We face a dilemma when we interact with family, friends, instructors, supervisors, and more. If we put ourselves out there, for example, attend one of Weeks of Welcomes events with some people on your res hall floor, you may forge a lifelong friendship. However, such an activity could set you up for a risk. What if you don't get along? What if they don't laugh at your jokes or you realize you have nothing in common? But what if you do get along and you realize you found your people, you found your tribe that makes this whole college experience so worth it? Every day, you're going to have to make similar, potentially minor decisions, such as this one. Do you go out or do you stay back to study for the A&P exam you have this week? Are you honest with your friend when they ask you what you think of their significant other? Do you skip class because it's raining again? Each of these dilemmas, you must weigh the stress that they will bring with the decision you choose. Chances are you have your own ways of dealing with stressful times. Some may be healthy, such as texting your friend to hang out or curling up in bed to binge watch your favorite show. All too often, people self-medicate or turn to unhealthy behaviors in attempt to relieve pressures of life. This could be in the form of withdrawing from friends or significant others, or having a social life in excessive amounts to avoid facing your problems. Additional examples are sleeping too much, drinking or smoking excessively, lashing out at others emotionally or physically, and violent outbursts. In addition to smoking or using alcohol, using prescription or over-the-counter drugs to shut out reality is an unhealthy coping mechanism. It is important to be aware of how you manage stressful situations so you can choose positive coping skills. Too rushed or stressed to eat? Think again. Good nutrition is an important stress management tool. When our bodies are poorly fed, stress takes an even greater toll on our health. Here are some tips to eat well to address stress management. Eat regularly. Your body and your brain need glucose to work at its best. Consume unsaturated fats such as walnuts, flaxseed, and fish oil. Lack of these fatty acids can result in depression or anxiety. Add high fiber foods such as oatmeal, nuts, beans, fruit, and vegetables to your meals. Trading caffeine for more sleep leads to an increase in blood pressure and may make you even more anxious, especially if you are already prone to anxiety. While consuming caffeine may seem to help you concentrate better in the short term, there have been studies that show caffeine only restores what is lost through lack of sleep. Pack up on nutrient-dense snacks, especially when you're stressed and your calendar is packed to the max. Some great snack foods are yogurt, almonds and pretzels, carrots with hummus, or cheese sticks with some fruit. Remember that dealing with stress in a positive manner is important. Sometimes it's easier to turn to unhealthy coping skills. But remember, your unhealthy coping skills is only a short-term solution that can create long-term problems. If stress continues to negatively impact your quality of life, consider getting some help. Campus mental health resources will be covered in a few minutes. If you are feeling stressed, there are positive ways for you to cope to feel less tense and overwhelmed. Don't be so hard on yourself, especially if you mess up. Sometimes we can be our worst critic. Look for the positive things in your life, and you can even write them down when you find yourself in a rut. Relaxation techniques are something that you can do within your residence hall for a few minutes of your time. These techniques include deep breathing, exercises, meditation, or even yoga. There are many free apps and videos on YouTube. When you're feeling stressed, it's important to not hold it all in, but instead confide in your friends, family, or someone professional on how you're feeling. Getting things off your chest can be rather freeing. Not only does nutrition affect your overall coping skills, but physical activity does as well. Research shows the connection between being active and the role it plays in the prevention and reduction of stress. It's important for our students to realize that they will experience stress in college. Being stressed doesn't mean that you are not being a successful college student. In fact, even the most successful college students experience stress. As a college student, you will need to find and implement positive stress management strategies. Many of these positive coping skills we've covered in prior slides. You may find many of these items you already do on a daily or weekly basis, but hopefully you can also identify a new coping skill. I love to remind students of the importance of saying no and learning to say yes. Sometimes it is difficult to make that determination. Should I go out dancing, or do I need to stay home and study? But also, you get to break down the stress dilemma by noting you are ahead on your study schedule and put in a lot of hours. So yes, you're going to close your political science textbook and go out and have some fun with your friends. For a lot of our students, it's important to have you time. With so many classes and activities taking place, you may find yourself overwhelmed and exhausted mentally. If you find yourself feeling that way, it's important to spend time by yourself to decompress. The Nacogdoches Animal Shelter is a great place to disconnect from school, and they are always looking for volunteers. Volunteers can walk their dogs and puppies and play with their kittens. And if you happen to need volunteer hours for your student org, you can hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Improve your overall well-being and success at SFA by leveraging your strengths and motivation to support behavior changes. Through this free, collaborative, non-judgmental service, wellness coaches are here to help you Work towards setting goals that are meaningful to you. Create sustainable behavior change. Identify the resources that can help you get where you want to be. Succeed in your academics. Increase your self-awareness and self-efficacy. And then lastly, maximize your personal strengths and values. Balancing academics, extracurriculars, work, and social life can leave you feeling overwhelmed and disorganized. Without the right tools, you may struggle to create the life you want to live now and in the future. You want to be healthier, but you are unsure of the ways in which to pursue those goals. Wellness coaching can focus on any of SFA's 7 dimensions of wellness, and our coaches are trained in several tools and tactics to guide you in determining meaningful goals. While the coach is there to support and guide you, these goals are chosen by you based off what you want to achieve. If you continue to feel overwhelmed by stress, don't be afraid to seek help. Getting help as soon as possible is important so you can start feeling better. Counseling Services, a confidential and free service located in the Health and Wellness Hub, is available to all current students. It could be delivered in person and via telehealth platform. In addition to counseling services, you have access to Timely Care, a UT system initiative which helps students identify goals and potential solutions to problems, leading to improved self-esteem and increased coping skills, social connectedness, and optimal mental health. Timely Care provides you a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free virtual health and well-being service. It offers on-demand emotional support, appointment-based counseling, advanced psychiatric care, and more. Timely Care is that mental health support you need right in your pocket. Thrive at UT is a free app designed to enhance the well-being of students within the UT system, including our Lumberjacks. This app will also help you navigate through challenging times. Thrive helps you make small changes in your routine that have powerful long-term impacts. You will find short-term videos of students sharing their own stories and interacting with activities designed to help you apply these concepts to your own unique experience. To wrap up, we are the Lumberjack Wellness Network. We are located out of the Baker Patillo Student Center, 3rd floor, the Dean of Students office. You can always gain information on LWN by calling us at 936-468-7249 or emailing us at lwn@sfasu.edu. We recommend you follow us on social media. We have a Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook account. Lastly, I hope you found this session helpful and axe 'em jacks.